Hello and welcome to SuperStar ARCA West race number 5 of the season. Tonight we're here at Watkins Glen here for tonight's Pro Spill Recovery and Excavation Services 60 here from Watkins Glen. And tonight we have 60 laps in the main race tonight, but first we have 4 heats of 3 laps and 11 drivers to get out of the way. First, this qualifying just wrapped up. It was Maverick Davers able to take the pole, and he will automatically advance to the feature here tonight. So let's take a look at our starting lineup for tonight's race. Starting in pole here on heat number 1 is Matt Sisler, and Nicholas Coate will start second. Starting third will be the 74, Devin McIntosh. Nathan Lehman will start fourth. Starting fifth will be Niles Davis, and Larry McKellen will start sixth. Dylan Harris will start 7th, and Evan Clapper will start 8th. Starting 9th will be 20th, Russell Windsor, and Jeff Johnson will start 10th. Starting 11th will be Trenton Bezro, and that will end round out round 11 car field. So 19 Now these drivers, they do have 3 laps here in heat number 1. So we only have 24 drivers. I believe everyone does make the field tonight. These drivers have 3 laps to try and just kind of better their track position in the race tonight. Better their track position, kind of where they're going to start. So tonight, definitely gonna be a long race, long race of attrition. Try to make no mistakes. That's gonna be the key to winning tonight's race. So you will be able to win this heat race and try to qualify 3rd in tonight's race. Probably 3 or 4 heats, as it will be probably a little bit shorter due to the lack of field size. These drivers looking to get underway for 3 laps for their first heat race of the night here from the Glen. This will be Matt Sisler and Nicholas Coate on the front row. Ready to go racing here for heat number 1. The iRacing pace car will take that hard left turn onto pit road, and we are underway here for heat number 1 for SuperStar ARCA West here at Watkins Glen. Hard on the brakes down into turn number 1 as they're go into turn number 1. Sisler's to get clear. Sisler gets clear of the field, as everyone pretty much single filing out very quickly. A few drivers side by side towards the back of the pack. As Russell Windsor, he's lost slots back in line now, but everyone's single file now as they go down the action straightaway. Hard on the brakes into turn number into the bus stop chicane. These drivers have 3 laps to try and just better their track position. This are already out to about a half a second. Almost the second lead already, and they're side by side here with Nathan Lehman. As Evan Clapper now into turn number 6. Pretty slots. Got slotted in line pretty quickly. Now they're going to go down hard on the brakes here into turn number 1. Goes better on the racetrack right now currently for that back to that 10th place spot. Jeff Johnson and Trenton Bezro. But Johnson's going to go around, and one other car just in front of him, Evan Clapper, also goes around. Let's take a look at what happened. Looks like maybe got on the brakes a little bit too deep here. He got on the gas a little bit too early. Yeah, just topped the curve, got on the gas too early, spun it out. And that's going to put them towards the back of the field. Battle up front here, though, is Matt Sisler still out front by almost a second now. But through turn number 7, out through turn number 1 for the final time here in heat number 1. Matt Sisler out in about a second lead. Devin McIntosh 6/10 back from Nicholas Cote. No one even close to the racetrack here, as everyone just trying to limp it back around, just trying to pick up as much time as they can. Gonna get a little bit. This also gives them a little bit extra practice here as well. Down the back straightaway for the final time. But off the final corner, it will be Matt Sisler able to take heat number 1. As a dominant performance, they're able to take that very quickly. Just pulled away by turn 1. So Nicholas Cote, Devin McIntosh, Nathan Lamont, and Niles Davis takes out the top 5. Is everyone else finishing up here in heat number 1? Let's take a look at our results here for heat number 1 after that race. So heat number 1 result says it was Matt Sisler able to take the win. Nicholas Cote in 2nd, Devin McIntosh in 3rd, Nathan Lamont in 4th, Niles Davis finishes 5th. Dylan Harrison 6th, Russell Windsor in 7th, Evan Clapper in 8th, Larry McClellan in 9th, and Trenton Besgrove rounds at the top 10, and 11th is Jeff Johnson. So now that will bring us to heat 2. As now, so we'll sit on the grid here for heat number 2. The 06 of Jackson Sims will start on pole. Giovanni Klein will start 2nd here in heat number 2. Starting 3rd will be the 3 of David McCullough. And Dwayne Young will start 4th. Starting 5th will be the 88 of Cole Steiner. And Elliot Henderson will start 6th. Starting 7th will be Dylan Chappell. Stephen Timms will start 8th. Starting 9th will be Philip Neese. And Mike Petrin will start 10th. And our 11 car field here for heat number 2 is Philip LaFerenta. Nice drivers getting on the grid, getting ready to go racing here for heat number 2. These drivers getting ready to go racing as we are currently trying to fix. There we go. Trying to fix the ATVO. It closed out on me there, so apologies for that. Drivers getting ready to go for heat number 2. It'll be a 3-lap heat, just like heat number 1. There's Giovanni Clyde on the front row. And the 06 machine will be on the pole. here. Heat number 2, Jackson Sims, Giovanni Klein on the front row for heat number 2. Iris Masker will take that hard left turn on to pit road, and green flag back in the air here from Watkins Glen. Hard on the brakes down to the turn number 1. 3 wide as it looks at 37. It's going to get into the race leader. Jackson Sims goes around as Elliot Henderson got in way too deep and just took out the entire field. Philip Nice gets involved as well. And now Dwayne Young comes out as the race leader. Down to turn number 6, Dwayne Young able to get away from that big incident there. So far, Dwayne Young able to hold the race lead as now the completes lap number 1, 2 to go here in heat number 2. As Cole Snyder sitting there in second, Dylan Chappell in third, Steven Timms in fourth, Giovanni Klein in fifth, as Giovanni Klein was there in second. Jackson Sims, Phil Nice being involved in the lap 1 wreck as after getting taken out by Elliot Henderson, they are sitting in 10th and 11th as they are 4 seconds back from Henderson. My feature also maybe got a piece of that as well. He's back in 8th, a little bit farther back. With Dwayne Young down the back straightaway, let's see if he can hold on and maybe pick up this heat win. Dwayne Young looking strong for now, down the bus stop. Down the back straightaway here, coming down to the turn number 6, Dwayne Young with a solid gap over Cole Snyder. We'll see if Cole Snyder has anything for him. Closing the gap in a little bit. Cole Snyder gets really close to the back bumper here through turn number 6. Now coming off of turn number 7 now, down the front straightaway for the final time here. White flag, 1 lap to go here in heat number 2. Hard on the brakes for Dwayne Young. As through the S's, now up the hill. Can Dwayne Young, can he hold on? He's got a 3/10 gap down the back straightaway here. Can Cole Snyder get hard on the brakes down the bus stop? Maybe make an attack on the back straightaway through the carousel. We'll see. Now, this first curb is all flat now. No curb here, so all of these drivers will try to cut it as close as they can to that inside wall. Cole Snyder with a good line through there, but it looks like Dwayne Young was just slightly better. Dwayne Young holds the lead by about 0.4 of a second. Gonna try and get a little bit of a draft, but I don't think Cole Snyder's gonna have enough to get there. He's gonna get right on that back bumper, but I don't think he'll do anything too dramatic here to try and pick up the heat win. He's gonna sit there in second. He's gonna try and drive it in there a little bit lower, try and get to the inside, but not gonna be able to do it. Off the final corner, Dwayne Young will win heat number 2. After surviving a turn 1 carnage, Dwayne Young will sneak through and take heat number 2. Cole Snyder and Dylan Chappell will finish second and third. And the driver is just driving around on the pull down lap. It's good for everyone else to finish. Now let's take a look at our heat 2 results as everyone has crossed the line. Dwayne Young will be our race winner for heat number 2, Cole Snyder in second, Dylan Chappell in third, Steven Timms in fourth, Giovanni Klein in fifth, David McCullough in sixth, Philip Francia in seventh, Mike Feature in eighth, Jackson Sims in ninth, Elliot Henderson in 10th, and running our 11 car field is Philip Nice here in 11th. That will wrap up our heats, and we will not have a consolation. So now we will go to the feature in just a couple minutes, and these drivers do have a 5-minute warm-up. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Watkins Glen. here to Watkins, Glen, as we just wrapped up our heat races. And tonight we're back for the SuperStar ARCA West Series here, race number 5 of Season 2 from Rollsville Recovery Excavation Services 60 here from the Glen. As now we start rolling off here for our 60-lap feature here tonight, as you're getting ready to go racing here. As these drivers all just ran their heat race except for our top two, Maverick Davis and Jake Miller, as they put it on the pole from the front row from qualifying earlier right before the heat races. But let's go through the grid here tonight for heat number 1 for the feature race here tonight. Maverick Davis, the 18, will start on pole. Jake Miller will start second. Starting third will be, as if it would like to click over. Actually, for some reason it is not showing, and it does not have only more than 2 people. So probably we'll kind of get through the rest of the field. For some reason it's showing me the pole sitters. So we'll try and get this working. So it's not going to work. So meanwhile, we're going to try and get this fixed, but meanwhile we're about to go green flag racing here from Watkins, Glen. It'll be Maverick Davis on the front row on the pole. He's going to try and play here. Try and get out in front early. He's gonna have the advantage, as you saw though in heat number 2. Started out with a little bit of chaos. Saw multiple cars going around in turn number 1. So we'll see if that's a repeat, or if he's gonna get a clean result here. We'll start this one. The RAC Space Car will take that hard left turn onto pit road, and Maverick Davis is gonna lead into green here from the Glen, and we're on the way here from Watkins, Glen. The straight jump hard, breaks down to that turn number 1. He's going to have the shorter distance. He's going to easily clear into 1, as everyone else is going to try and follow suit now. Down the straightaway. Down through the S's now. I got Dwayne Young really wide up through the S's. Side by side with that 74 machine through the top of the S's now. They say side by side for that third place spot. Matt Sisler gets passed by, Devin McIntosh gets passed by Dwayne Young. He's there battling for that 4th place spot there. We have the rest of our field. So, while these drivers are battling here on lap number 1, let's take a quick rundown on kind of who's in tonight. So, Maverick Davis, Jake Miller on 1 and 2, Matt Sisler 3rd, Devin McIntosh and then Nathan Lamont in 6th, Cole Scheider 7th, Niles Davis in 8th, Dylan Chappell, Steven Timms around the top 10, Johnny Klein, David Mullen, Dylan Harris, Jackson Sim, Russell Windsor, Philip LaFranza, Evan Clapper, Trenton Desro, Nicholas Code, Philip Beast, Mike Petrin, Jeff Johnson, Elliot Henderson, and Leo McClellan around our 20 car units here tonight. So let's got a quick rundown as we weren't able to get to the grid for some issues with the ticker. So luckily we're able to get through. So there's kind of the rundown through there. There's a lot of the battling happening back in the middle of the race, or middle of the pack right now. It's Francio falling back a little bit. Frankie falling back a little bit. Franca all right behind him. Right now, off the S's down the act straightaway. So a little bit further back from Jackson Sims. Jackson Sims was qualified on pole for heat number 2, but unfortunately got caught up in that turn 1 incident, which ended up spinning him around, and he ended up had to start from the middle for the back-to-back. Already pretty well. Back up to the battle for the top 10. Johnny Klein right on the back bumper of Dylan Chappell here for that 9th place spot. Down the back straightaway here into turn number 6. You've got anything better about it than staying out of line. But up front is already Maverick Davis out to a 1.2 second lead over the rest of the field. Now he's going to make that 1.3 and up to a second and a half off of turn 1. So already making a lot of time already for Maverick Davis. And everyone else is going to go way wide out, as they can also extend that now through the new track extensions. It is no longer just loading here in the simulator. So everyone can extend everywhere as much as they want. So So far, Maverick Davis out by that 2-second lead already, as he is putting really big gap, putting a lot of speed down here early on. But then now Devin McIntosh on the back bumper of Dwayne Young here into the backstretch, looking to try and take this 4th spot away. Dwayne Young overdrives the corner, going to get into the grass a little bit, and McIntosh will take that spot away. This way, will fall back to 5th. Nathan Lamar going to try and take advantage now as well. He's going to try and go around the outside of the carousel. Let's go a long way around and see if he can power down. He's going to extend this out a little bit. Actually, going to cross under here. A good run. Dwayne Young's going to cut back in front of him to keep it out of the grass. Down in turn number 6 now. Dwayne Young is able to hold on to that position. Nicholas go back in 15 close battle racetrack, holding one car off in the dirt. Russell Windsor all in the dirt already into turn number 6. Nicholas goes down to try to hunt down the back bumper of Dylan Harris. Spot right now as Nathan Lamon able to just get by Dwayne Young. Dwayne Young going to try and cut under through the grass a little bit. Careful, that could be a slowdown, but he gets passed by Nathan Lamon going into the bus stop as Dwayne Young will fall back to 6th place. Jacob Mesgrove, though, trying to close the gap down to David McCall as this battle was at a couple of off the essence, but now that gap is back up. Nicholas Coates, though, still trying to hunt down Dylan Harris here down the back straightaway. Back down to the turn number 6, trying to look to the inside. Not going to make that. Not going to make the move happen. Trying to sit back in line, trying to get a running car off turn number 7 to try and make the move. Turn 7 down the front straightaway. Nicholas Coates. A little bit wider. Oh, we got a car off, and it looks like LaFranca into the outside wall. Look like they overdrove it a little bit. Let's take a look at what happened. Let's take a look at what happened there. So it looks like down in the turn number 1, looked like he extended that. Oh, looks like he lost the brakes a little bit. Got really wide, trying to get the power back down, and spun it, trying to get the power back down really wide. Line there. It's again to the outside wall. And that's going to slow. That also hurt Nicholas Coates a little bit. As actually, he was able to get by Dylan Harris now. After that, let's take a look at what happened there. How he was able to get by. It's actually Nicholas Coates was able to take advantage of the Franco going wide as Dylan Harris had to avoid that. And he couldn't extend it out, get the power down, so Nicholas Coates took advantage. He moves up to 11th position, so he gets a little 2 for 1 there. Jackson Sims down, he's going to look for the back bumper of Dylan Chappell here through turn number 1. So Sims already working his way up pretty strong. This is pretty quick lap times, already up to 9th place as he had to start from the back after getting wrecked in number 1. He pursued turn 2. Bus stop. Sims right on the back over Lamon. Chappell. Trying to hold him up. Jackson Sims all over that back bumper of Dylan Chappell. Now side by side off of turn number 7. Dylan Chappell going to be the outside here in turn number 1. Going to make a little bit of contact on the brakes as Chappell almost gets into him. As Jackson Sims takes the spot away. So Jackson Sims will take that 8th place spot. Steven Sims in 10th. try and pass Dylan, get a move done here on Dylan Chapel. Now battle up front, Jake Miller is falling back a little bit. He's falling behind Devin McIntosh, but he's trying to take the spot back as now he looks to the inside of turn number 1. Can't make a move happen. Through the S's. Miller with a really good run on McIntosh. Young's going to look to the bottom here, down the back straightaway, into the bus stop. It's going to be Miller side by side with McIntosh. McIntosh going to have the outside. He's going to get, he's going to just let him go. It looks like he missed his braking point. He went wide through the grass. They said to cut the bus stop, and McIntosh going to lose an extra spot to Nathan Lamont. As they both lose the spots there. This battle still going on here between Dylan Chapel and Nicholas Cote as Stephen Timms got by Dylan Chapel. Kind of the second back in the back straight where they cut through the news. I think we're still seeing a while now. No, not able to make too many moves just yet. Straight away, Nicholas Cote sitting there at 11, Dylan Chapel in 10. Oh, but Dylan Chapel going to lose it. He's going to go around off of turn number 1, but then crossed over turn a little bit and got loose, and that will bring him back to 14th. He actually might lose a couple more. He just crossed over the curb, lost the back end, is spun around. That brings him back to 14th position as he now falls back just inside the top 15. He's got Elliot Henderson on his back bumper now. As Henderson trying to make a move. Farther apart here, back to this battle for 9th in the top 10. Stephen Timms getting hunted down by Nicholas Cote here. Able to get that move done. Jackson City in 8th for now. And right back to Cole Snyder here trying to make a move happen. And Jackson Sims a really good drive so far. Let's take a look at the most positions game. Jackson Sims up 12. He's on the most biggest movement tonight so far. Now he's going to look to the inside here. Cole Snyder in at turn 7. He will take that spot and make that 13. So Jackson Sims on the move. See the start from the back, getting involved in the Heat 2 incident. They're on tonight. Everyone's pretty much separated out at this point. Closest battle of the racetrack is Niles Davis and Dylan Chapel near the battle for 14th. As Maverick Davis, our race leader, is checked out 14 seconds, now almost 15 seconds in front of the race. About 10. The same masses through, kind of blinking out a little bit there. Maverick Davis was well, but he is checked out over by 11 seconds, and now Dylan Chapel loses the spot to Niles Davis. So now Dylan Chapel is trying to regather after spinning off the turn number 1, trying to get some momentum back. Maverick Davis putting on a drive right here now as we're working our way to a quarter distance. So we're working lap number 12, almost a quarter distance to lap number 15. Only 60 lap race here tonight, which is a little longer than NIS distance here at Watkins Glen. By about 15 laps. So far, it's been Maverick Davis. He's been very dominant. We have a battle back here for about 11th now. Still in here trying to get to the back on Steven Timms. Steven Timms is falling back a little bit further now as he's falling outside of the top 10. Fell behind Evan Clapper and Cole Snyder. Battle back here for 19th. Up just up in front of them. Look there, McClellan looking strong to try and get by Philip Nice here. Down the turn one, going to try and get hard on the brakes to the inside lane. Not going to be able to do it. He's going to stick behind so he can get a good run off of turn number one. As Nice gets a little bit better run off of turn number one. Now up the S's now. Down the back straightaway into the bus stop. We'll see if McClellan has anything for Nice. Well, it looks like Nice gets a little bit wide, and that's going to allow McClellan to the outside. And he will take that spot away. Laird McClellan will take 17th away from Philip Nice. So that'll lose to David McCullough here, Dylan Harris, and Steven Timms' area. Oh, we got a car around there. And Jackson Sims goes around a turn number one after having a great drive, was working back up into the 7th place spot, and it's going around. Let's take a look at what happened. And he just got on the gas a little bit too much. He had turn number one, maybe crossed the curve a little bit too aggressively. That's what happened. Just you cross that curve a little bit too aggressively, and he just into the back end of the race car, slides around, and ends up going around. So Jackson Sims back to 11th. This close battle throughout this entire racetrack is right around this top 10 position. Everyone else is about a second and a half more separated from the next car in front of behind him. This is the closest battle up here. 610, 210, 7 here from Steven Timms to Jack Sims, and then back to a second to Bullet and E10 to Dylan Harris. Everyone else on the racetrack over 1.2 seconds apart from each other. Jackie Sims, he's hunting down that back over with Steven Timms, trying to close the gap down. Jackson Sims not able to find a way by Timms just yet. Steven Timms holding on to that 10th place spot pretty well. So far down through the short chute, cut through the move. It's off of turn number 6 into turn 7. Sims rattled that back bumper, trying to find a way by, just not close enough to make a move yet. on the brakes into turn number 1. Up the S's. Sims not able to close the gap down enough just yet to maybe make a move through the bus stop, as right now he's just sitting right there. Can't find the way by. But so far, Steven Sims holding pretty strong right now in that 10th place spot. It's not allowing Sims to have an opportunity to get by. Turn number 6, he'll drive it down to the turn number 7, the really good run. He'll try a dive bomb, he's gonna make a little bit of contact with Steven Sims. They get side by side. Sims will still hold on to that spot though. We can drive off turn number 7. Good save there after a little bit of contact. So Sims would have to try and regather. Jackson Sims would have to regather and make mount another attack here. This is linking out just a little as well. Better keep an eye on Jake Miller hunting in that back number of Matt Sisler for 2nd. As right now Jake Miller sitting in 3rd. It's a few tenths back from Matt Sisler trying to get up in that 2nd place spot as Jake Miller started in 2nd, just a little bit farther back. This fella slid a little bit back. Matt Sisler from 2nd, Jake Miller in 3rd. He's going to finish well in a heat race, but he started to fall a little bit back. He's trying to close the gap down to Matt Sisler. Just can't make. Yeah, that's now he's about 1.5 seconds back. So he's getting a little bit more time back into it. We have a 3-way battle here, though, for this top 10 spot. Steven Sims, Jackson Sims, and David McCullough. As Sims able to block this perfectly, just Sims can't find a way by, can't find a weakness just yet to try and get by. Ideally, you want to try and get a good run off turn 7, maybe try to make a move into turn 1, or try and get a run off the carousel, make a move into 6, or try and get a bus stop. But it's really all of those places very tough pass, very in turn 1. If you can't get the move done, you kind of have a switch back on the S's. You're gonna try and hold on. It's very tight to stay side by side through the S's. It's also very tight to try and stay side by side, especially through this bus stop. Turn 6, you have the switch back, so you can't get the move on off turn number 6, and then you're gonna lose it back on 7. You're trying to hold the outside, and you're also gonna have the outside disadvantage in turn number 1. So it's kind of a very tough pass here at Watkins Glen. But Sims has a good run down. He's gonna try and get to the outside here. Turn 6, but they'll slot back in line behind Tim's. Can't just yet now. That'll back up to that 6th place spot. Dwayne Young now under attack from Nicholas Cote here in the turn number 1. As Dwayne Young goes a little bit wide off the turn number 1, he's gonna try and get the power down on the off the runoff, but not able to stay side by side with Nicholas Cote. So Nicholas Cote will take that 6th place spot. But Steven Sims will come down pit road. Let's take a look. So it looks like he's going to take his first scheduled stop of the night. So Steven Sims makes his first pit stop. These drivers also got to pit as well. No one has made any pit stops. It's now Maverick Davis down pit road. Now these guys are pitting around lap 19. This makes it question a little bit if anyone can make it. Could they make it on a possible 2-stop strategy? As it looks like Matt Sisler able to stay out on the racetrack, so he will take the race lead. Now that tells me it might be a little close, depending on how you're seeing it. Could be close on a 2-stop race. If these drivers can't go 20 laps, as there are a few drivers starting to flood down pit road. But that's kind of a little worrying for Maverick Davis, but he already did have a 15-second gap out in front already in 20 laps. So really, I think with the Davis's pace, I think he'll probably be all right, and he'll probably be able to still get out probably up to 30 or 45-second gap before he has to pit for that last time. Even if he has to make an extra stop, he'll probably have enough gap at that point by about 40-45 seconds to make a splash and dash to the finish. We'll see how that holds off, but Matt Sisler is our race leader. We'll see if he has to pit this time by. This looks like he's going to stay out on the racetrack. They're going to try and stay under the line there. A lot of drivers down pit road. Niles, Davis, David McCullough, Elliot Henderson, Dwayne Young. So everyone coming down early here as Jake Miller does come down pit road. So going to make a little bit different fuel strategy here, but now this is going to be a little bit harder to manage through this kind of strategy, because now you're going to try and time your pit stop at a good time, because you don't want to pit too early. Because if you pit too early, you pit at the wrong time, you could come out in traffic and get slowed down a little bit. So you gotta kind of play where you're going to come out in traffic first. But Matt Sisler is still staying on the racetrack, as Maverick Davis already back to second. He's only 17 seconds behind, so he's really only used about 30-35 seconds on pit road. So right now at this rate, Maverick Davis, if he just makes another 15 seconds, which he did in the first 20 laps, he should be fine if he has to make an extra stop. But that could get the second 2 or 3 stop strategy could play out a little bit different kind of for the rest of that top 5. Second, Matt Sisler, you will be down pit road this time. So he's going to be able to lead a lap, but he's not going to be able to. He's really far behind Maverick Davis. Maverick Davis at a 20-second gap already when he came down pit road. Looks like everyone's coming down pit road now as Matt Sisler makes his stop. Russell Windsor has to make a stop as he's now in pit road as well. So it looks like everyone else has come down pit road, and Maverick Davis is our race leader. Back to our race leader. He's now actually much farther out in front. He's out 22 seconds out in front. As Jake Miller, we'll see if he can jump Matt Sisler here off the pit road. Not going to do it. Sisler will get out still by about a second, about 2 seconds. So about the similar gap to what they were earlier. Maverick Davis putting in a really good drive right now as he's 22 seconds in front of the rest of the field. Right now, that's a center attack here for that second place spot by Jake Miller. Jake Miller is closing the gap in. Pretty strong right now. Jake Miller, though, closing the gap a little bit. Getting to the back bumper. Matt Sisler. In. Am I able to close close it up just yet. Nice right on the back one for Matt Sisler here off the carousel. Almost about to get there. Gonna try and get to the inside here off of the carousel. Gonna be able to make it happen. Side by side down the back straightaway now. Jake Miller able to get the move done through turn number 6. He's around the outside. And Jake Miller takes the second place spot away. Jake Miller able to take the second place spot away. Right now, Maverick Davis out by 20 seconds over the rest of the field. Putting on a really dominant performance right now. So far able to hold on pretty strongly for now. Matt Slisser's trying to close the gap back to Jake Miller here. Up, just not able to get through just yet. Jake Miller holding on to the second place spot. Max Sisler sitting right there in third. It's battle for second, still very close. As Miller, he took the overcut a little bit, still able to get the spot. Jake Miller still holding the second place position pretty strongly. Looks like he's been able to kind of hold right out in front of Matt Sisler. But Matt Slisser just not able to close it down just enough. He's just staying right there, so if Jake Miller made a mistake, he would be right there to take advantage of it. Just can't get there just yet, though. Jake Miller just holding on just well enough. But Jake Miller this is still the closest battle on the racetrack. Jake Miller just staying right there where he needs to be. Not making too many mistakes right now. Everyone else right now currently out on the racetrack just still within about a second of each other. The close battle is kind of within a second. There's a few couple of cars here within about half a second of each other. And Stephen Thames, he's closing the gap down on Niles Davis. I think he lost a little bit of time on the pit stops. Jackson Sims, though, making a really big recovery from pit road as after that pit stop he jumps back up to 8th, losing a lot of time on pit road. Close the gap to him a piece here. Don't want to get there just yet. They're still kind of sitting right behind the back bumper of Beast. Turn number 7. But out in front though, just it's been a great drive for that 18 machine of Matt Davis right now. Still 20 seconds. He's held about 20 seconds. He really pulled away after that first run. He got it out to about 15-20 seconds. But now he's kind of stagnant about 20 and a half, so he hasn't gained nearly as much time here on this second run as he has the first run. They think that might not be a problem, but the problem is that Matt Davis, he was only able to go about 18, 19 laps on that first tank. Everyone else was able to go, everyone else behind him, as Jake Miller, Matt Zisler, they were able to go about 2-3 laps longer. And now, at that case, which was about 20-21 laps, they can make it on only 2 stops, and Maverick Davis would, at that rate, would have to make an extra stop. So maybe that's why he's kind of stagnated. Maybe he realized that. So this run, he's kind of just been backing off the pace a little bit and trying to save a little bit of fuel. So we could have to see that as his last lap time was moved for a second slower than his best lap time of 109.560. As right last time I ran at 110.860. So I think he also kind of realizes that right now. Maybe that's why he hasn't kind of pulled away a little bit as much as he did in that first run. As he's kind of starting to try to back off a little bit down and try to save that extra lap of fuel that he needs, so he can make it on a pretty comfortable on the 2-stop car. And the gap, though, for second is still staying very close. Matt Zisler right there just behind Jake Miller. Not able to take advantage of that just yet. Jake Miller holding pretty strong right now there in second. You just see, since he's got by, he just hasn't been able to make a mistake. It really just needs to kind of try to make an advantage of a mistake. Maybe try and drive in a little bit deeper. But as I kind of mentioned earlier, the passing, so it's kind of very limited here. It's very hard to get a pass done here at Watkins Glen. Really, your best opportunity is in turn 1, but then you also have to get a really strong run on turn 6 and 7. I think it's turn 6 and 7. You gotta kind of hold off a little bit. Hold off a little bit off, especially off of turn 7. Is you gotta try, you gotta kind of drive that a little bit differently if you're right behind somebody. You think it may not be a factor. Dirtier is still a little bit of a factor there, so that could make it a little bit tighter. So it's tough to get a run off on turn number 7 and try to make it move to 1. And now if you make it move to 1, if you're not able to get it clear it down to the 1 exactly perfectly, you're gonna have to try and hold side by side through the bus stop, through the chicane, through the S's. Apologies. And it's also very tough to do that as well, because especially the cars can get very tight, especially with the dirty air side by side. It can get very tight through there. It's definitely a little bit struggle. You can kind of fall back a little bit, especially through that through those curves of the S's. And if you're able to hold on some side by side through there, then you gotta go narrow side by side through the bus stop, and that can be very dangerous. Really end your days. If you guys if the two drivers make a little bit of contact, you slide around, spin to the bus stop wall, and easily end your night very quickly. So you gotta be cautious of when you gotta make the moves. Now, a really good place to make the moves. If you get a good run into the bus stop, make it a run out of the bus stop. Maybe trying to catch the driver in front of you, kind of sleeping as they kind of get a wider arc with a carousel. You maybe start to stick your nose in there and try to force them a little bit wide. That's a really good area to try and get a pass done. But it's also, you got to be very careful going to drive in too deep and get on the back bumper and make contact in the bus stop. But you got to try and make just enough of a run off the bus stop to maybe try and take an advantage here, as you kind of see where Miller, as he kind of extended that out there. If Sisler was close enough to maybe get right on the back bumper, had the better run off the bus stop as well, you can peek his nose to the inside there. Or try and force Miller to kind of block that off a little bit, and then Sisler could get a wider arc, get a better arc down the back straightaway, and out to 6. But also, if you try and get a move into 6, very tough because then it'd be the switch back here into 7, which could also not go the right way. But you gotta make sure if you're gonna try to make the pass, you gotta get it done as quick as possible. You gotta be efficient as possible. So that's why it's just such a tough pass here at Watkins Glen. Right now, these two are still the closest battle on the racetrack, other than here Dylan Harris. Actually, Dylan Harris is 3 tenths back. This is actually because him and Stephen Timms are both in pit road, and Dylan Harris will take that spot out as he gets out in front. So Dylan Harris makes his second stop, same as Stephen Timms as well. So those two making their second stop here on 33 of the night. So Matt Sisler and Jake Miller here in the closest battle on the racetrack position. Right now, Miller's trying to just kind of hold on. He's playing good defense right now. Yeah, pretty strong. So far looking good here for Jake Miller. The close battle on the racetrack here with Philippines and Dylan Harris. Dylan Harris just came out of pit road. So he's also going to have to make a stop there, so that's making it difficult. Sitting there in second, sitting there in fifth right now, about 3 tenths back here from Devin McIntosh. So far, Nathan Lehman holding on to the spot pretty well. Not able. He also has Nicholas Coates to his back, trying to take the spot away. Jake Miller holding on here still for second over Matt Sisler. Jake Miller still holding on for second pretty strong. He's kind of been staying around that same place, but what I'm really worried about now, especially for Mac Davis, he's only gained about 1 second this run, and that makes it a little bit tougher to do. as right now, because he's right now about 23-second gap back to Jake Miller and Matt Sisler. And I'm worried that he's not going to be able to make it on a two-stop race. We'll kind of see here in a bit. We'll kind of see here in just a couple seconds, a couple laps here. We'll kind of see if that plays out for him a little bit easier. Because right now he only made that first run. He only made about 18, 19 laps. See, right now he's about 17 laps in here. Into the second run, this will be lap number 18 here, lap number 38. So if he can't make it before lap 40, let's go on board here, kind of see what he's doing. See if he is saving a little bit of fuel maybe as well. So let's go on board with Maverick Davis. Let's go on board with Maverick Davis. Kind of see where Sawyer is making his time up as well. So up through the S is going to try and get right to the left side's right on that left-hand curve through the S's here. Now he's got a little bit of lap traffic. Might catch. He's going to get down the back straightaway, and he is clutching. So that's what explains why Maverick Davis is saving a little bit of fuel. It is not gaining as much time as he was. It looks like he is saving a little bit of fuel, knowing he is a little bit closer on that two-shot strategy. I think he's trying to save a little bit of fuel as well. So he was backing off for about a second of what his fastest lap was as well. So that could also be a little bit difference as tire could also be playing a factor as well. But as you see, he is clutching down the back straightaway here. Also, maybe could be an inch above, inches down the road as well. So I believe that does definitely he is clutching enough for Maverick Davis. As he has backed off his lap times to 1:12.8 was his last time by. So at this, it looks like at this rate he is going to be able to save enough fuel, especially he has the big gap. It's he has the real estate to do that as well. He's got 20 seconds to back up, and at the pace he's going down at 1:12, keep giving that up and still be able to save a lot of fuel just backing off a couple seconds, kind of clutching the race car as he is doing. Kind of short shifting as well, but Nathan Lamont though, he's hunting down the back bumper of Devin McIntosh here into turn number 1 and trying to take that spot away. That's kind of like how it was going with Matt Sisler and Jake Miller up there earlier. It just looks like Lamont is just able to stick there right behind, but just can't find the mistake from the McIntosh out there in front of him to try and take that opportunity away. Try to take that spot away, but Nicholas could though. He's right on the back bumper as well. Could also be a problem for Nathan Lamont. And also pit stops going up here soon. Their second pit stop of the night. Their second and final pit stop of the night. Going to be starting to play a factor. As actually Nicholas Coate will come down pit road here on lap number 40, so he'll take his final stop. He's going to have a little bit of undercut he can use to try and get by Nathan Lamont and Devin McIntosh, so we can try and jump these two here, especially if these two get battling. Use a little bit of time here on the second stop on this outlap. But now here's Evan Clapper. He's hunted that back from Dwayne Young here with a 7th place spot. As Dwayne Young, he'll actually dive and keep it down on the low side. He's going to come down pit road here and make his final stop of the night. But for Maverick Davis, we were worried maybe he might not be able to make it on a 2-stop now. Doing that second run, he just saved enough fuel as he's been clutching. And he's going to be able to easily make it as now he crosses the line here at lap 40. So he'll be able to easily make it here on only one more stop. Maverick Davis is out by 18 seconds. It looks like he's really backing it off now. I wonder if he missed pit road. He's really trying to save enough here as he is down to 20 to go. So he's going to have plenty of fuel. He should be plenty good now. He's just trying to save a little bit more, trying to make it back around. Trying to squeeze as much fuel out of it as possible. See down the back straightaway, he's only out to a 17-second gap now, so he's really backed off his pace big time. And really lost a lot of time, but he really has a lot of time he can use. keep an eye on that gap between Devin McIntosh and Evan Clapper. Evan Clapper just came down. Nicholas Coates just came down pit road. Nicholas Coates was right behind Nathan Lemon and Devin McIntosh in that battle. So we'll see if he's able to jump both of those drivers. Nathan Lemon down pit road. Here comes Maverick Davis now, that 18 machine. He will come down pit road from the race lead here with 20 laps to go. We'll see if he can hold this lead. If he still leads this lap, I believe he's led every lap of this race. Except for the first pit stop. That first lap he did lose a little bit of time, but it looks like Jake Miller will come down pit road. Matt Sisler will stay on the racetrack. No, but Maverick Davis still led that last lap by. Matt Sisler will stay out a little bit longer. Now keep an eye on Nicholas Coates. He's still behind Nathan Lemon as Nathan Lemon comes out in front of him, and Devin McIntosh is now coming down pit road now. So you're going to see this battle. This is the battle for fourth here. See a close battle for that fourth place spot. Jake Miller will make his pit stop as Maverick Davis gets right out of his stall. So really good pit stop for Maverick Davis. He's now going to try and come back out there, making a nice clean 19 laps in the finish. Going to try and hold on to this. Trying to pick up this race win. Really want to watch his Nathan Lemon here is now. This is the battle that he had with Devin McIntosh. Is he going to be able to do it? Nathan Lemon able to get in front of Nicholas Coates and Devin McIntosh. So Devin McIntosh falling behind there on that through that pit stop. Nathan Lemon able to take that fourth place spot away. Onto the spot for now. He's right in front of Nicholas Coates. So far, Nathan Lemon holding on to the spot, as actually now he lost the spot to Nicholas Coates there. So far, Nicholas Coates now he takes that fourth place spot away. But I mean, it's not too much happening out of the racetrack right now. That was really a close battle. Niles Davis, he's right on the back bumper here. Cole Snyder trying to get something happening. Now he gets hard on the brakes into the bus stop. Oh, gonna miss the bus stop there. Gonna get a little bit on the curb and through the grass a little bit, but he's able to hold the spot over Cole Snyder. Oh, he's gonna have to slow down. He's gonna have to give back. Now he will take that spot away. Welcome back here to Watkins, Glen. As I apologies for the lack of commentary the past 15 laps. Kind of rookie mistake. Forgot to microphone there for the last 15 laps. So really unfortunate, as it was Maverick Davis able to take a dramatic win after running out of fuel coming to the line. He was able to hold on, though. He had plenty of gap. He was able to just coast it back and still have enough to do a burnout. I think really that's all he was saving for there late. But also, what a battle there we had there late between Devin McIntosh and Nathan Lamont. Just gonna go back through on that final lap there as Devin McIntosh was able to take the spot, take that spot back away. It was really just a great battle. He was able to run as he was battling with Nicholas Cote there late. Nicholas Cote running out of fuel on that final lap. Let's take a look at what happened here. So Devin McIntosh, he's closing the gap here to second. This is the battle for third as he's closing the gap down to Nicholas Cote, but Nicholas Cote ends up going wide. Nicholas Cote ends up running out of fuel here. This is coming to the white flag. But this is coming to the white flag here. So white flag here for this one. And also just out in front of him was the battle for 10th between Dwayne Young, Niles Davis, and Cole Snyder. This battle here for Dwayne Young is Dwayne Young sitting in the 10th place spot, overdrives turn 6 on the final lap, and he gives up the spot to Niles Davis. But he's able to hold off Cole Snyder here, as Cole Snyder not able to have enough time to get by. But Devin McIntosh right on the back bumper of Nicholas Cote, as Nicholas Cote goes wide, as McIntosh tries to dive into the inside, but Nicholas Cote off the final corner runs out of fuel, as McIntosh takes the 4th place spot, and Nathan Lamont sneaks on through as well and takes the 5th place spot. So that's kind of the recap of what that final few calls were like on that final lap there. But unfortunately, apologies for that lack of commentary there. But it was Nathan Lamont able to take that 4th place spot away. But it was Maverick Davis out in front, our race winner here tonight. As before we get to our post-race interviews, let's take a quick look at our results here for tonight's race. As was Maverick Davis, a very dominant performance over Jake Miller and Matt Sisler. Devin McIntosh in 4th. Nathan Lamont rounds out the top 5. Nicholas Cote in 6th. Evan Clapper in 7th. Jackson Sims in 8th. David McCullough in 9th. Niles Davis in 10th. Finishing 11th tonight is Dwayne Young. Cole Center in 12th. Dylan Chaplin in 13th. Elliot Henderson in 14th. Dylan Harris finishing 15th tonight. Russell Windsor in 16th. Philip Neeson 17th. Steven Timms 18th. Larry McClellan in 19th. And rounding out the top 20 is Trenton Besgrove. 21st is Philip LaFranca. Mike Petrin in 22nd. Jeff Johnson 23rd. And Giovanni Klein in 24th. But in front of his dominant performance here tonight, it was our race winner of Maverick Davis. A very dominant performance here tonight. I just gotta watch the replay if you're burning it down right now. But just a dominant performance out there tonight. Just how does it feel able to get this win?
Dude, I totally didn't even know I got dragged in here. Well, first of all, what's up? Second of all, the race was crazy. I mean, having a fuel save was something else. I was just turning just burners for the first fuel run, and then realized I was like way ahead. So I was like, just back her down, save some fuel so I can go like hell on the last stint. And that's what I did, and then managed to set the fastest lap of the race on lap 54 or something like that. So that was cool. But I mean, overall, just really well done by everybody. Honestly, everyone that was lap car was really respectful and clear with their intentions. So I thought the race went really well.
Hey, you're able to just have a dominant performance there. So you kind of mentioned the fuel save. Is that first run, you were a little bit short on making that on a 2-stop. So you just kind of did that second one. How are you able to save that fuel? And it also kind of coasted there coming down the line there. So is that a little bit fun trying to save a little bit of fuel for the burnout?
That's exactly what I was doing. Hit the nail right on the head with that one. But yeah, I mean, like I know that I was so far out that there was no reason to try and. I wasn't going to gain enough time to run a 3rd stop, and I didn't really want to. I mean, I could have done that for the entertainment, but I also haven't even had a top 10 yet, I don't think. So, yeah, I just wanted to finish the race and finish with a 0x. So I just took the safe route and definitely paid off. But yeah, I definitely wanted fuel for the burnout so I could have something to burn off, you know.
Yeah, but you're able to pick up a very solid win here tonight. Dominant performance. Before we send off on the way, any sponsor link for tonight's race win?
Mainly just shout out to everyone that makes this league possible. I mean, Sam and all the guys up there in the admin booth bring this together, and of course getting the broadcast here. This is great, and hopefully I can make it up to the Cup Series, but it's going to be a minute because I got a late start to the season and everything else is going on. So, yeah, just big shout out to everyone watching, and big shout out to everyone that makes the league come together.
And once again, congrats on your race win here tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
So that was our race winner of Maverick Davis. So we'll bring in our second place finisher here of Jake Miller. We'll be here in just a second. Jake Miller, our second place finisher here tonight. You're battling there late with Matt Sisler, pretty much through that entire second run there. So kind of just walk us through that last that second run. Through that second runs there, in that second, third run, how were you able to get by Matt Sisler and how were you able to hold him off through that entire last run?
It was interesting with fuel mileage, and I was behind him that whole second run. We were basically just running the same pace, saving fuel, and then that last pit stop happened. He stayed out 2 laps longer or whatever, but you didn't need to stay out that long, so, I overshot him, and basically just ran away, and you just had to manage getting through lap traffic, which was kind of a mess, but, we got it done, and we didn't have anything for Maverick, but, we're good enough for second.
Yeah, can I just talk us through how your drive went tonight? I mean, you didn't really have, no one really had the speed to touch Maverick tonight, but do you think you could have done differently? Kind of what do you think he was kind of beating you out there on the racetrack tonight?
I'm not sure what his brake bias was set at or how he was getting into some of the corners he was getting into, but I felt I was pretty fast, and then he somehow figured out how to get half a second a lap quicker, and I don't know how he did it. His braking points were way farther back or way farther forward than mine, and there's no way I could do what he did.
Yeah, and you're still able to pick up a very solid second place finish here tonight. Before you send off on any sponsored link for tonight's second place run?
Just shout out to Spectrum Racing and my Uncle Ron, who watches the broadcast.
And once again, congrats on your second place finish here tonight. We'll see you next week at Michigan.
Thank you.
So that's our second place finisher of Jake Miller. We'll bring in our third place finisher now of Matt Sisler. So Matt Sisler, our third place finisher here tonight. You're having another solid run here tonight here at the Glen. As you're battling up there pretty much that kind of second half of the race, battling there with Jake Miller. So kind of just talk us through that battle. What do you think he kind of contributed to that? You getting past there, and what do you think you could have done differently to maybe try and chase him back down through that final run?
I always love the Glen. It's probably one of my favorite road courses on the service, especially in stock cars. So I knew we'd have a very fast 3 Chevy SS for this race. Was glad to be able to finally just stay up there after the heats, and we didn't have anything go wrong in the heat. We were able to kind of get away and just cruise so we could start where we qualified for once, because my luck in heats have been horrible this season. But the last stint, probably could have taken less fuel on that last one. I packed it full of fuel so I could just push like crazy, and it worked for a little bit, and then I caught that pack of like 3-4 lap cars and couldn't quite clear them as quickly as I would have liked. So in hindsight, maybe we would have gone with a little less fuel, maybe just on left side tires only to try to jump the 77 and get ourselves ahead of him, and then just play defense. But not at all disappointed to come home on the podium for the first time this season.
Yeah, pick up a very solid third place finish, but just kind of how was it out there tonight, especially kind of like on the brakes? It is a little bit different compared to Trucks Xfinity Cup here at the road course. So kind of how different is the ARCA car here at Watkins Glen?
I mean, the ARCA car, effectively, this is a Gen 6 chassis with an Ilmore engine in it. So it's like a combination of the 550, but you've got the truck engine in it. It definitely, it slides around a lot more. It wants to change direction on you if you're not careful, especially if you downshift too quickly going into a corner. You can wheel hop this thing a lot easier than you can like a truck or an Xfinity car or a Gen 7. So you just really had to be careful with it. And also, like, on the throttle, this thing will spin up its tires like nobody's business. So you have to be really careful on gas and brake, and get on, manage your gear changes, just so you don't like spin up the tires, don't wheel hop, and don't spin out. This car is not as easy as it looks to drive on a road course for sure.
Yeah, but you're still able to manage it pretty well and still pick up a very solid third place run here tonight at the Glen. But before you send it off on the way, any sponsor link for tonight's third place run?
Absolutely. My sponsor for our lovely Chevrolet SS, Three Birdies Golf Company. They've been sponsoring me for over a year now. Great group of people over there. They got great apparel for all your golf needs over at threebirdiesgolf.com. They're still doing a free shipping on all orders over $100. That's threebirdiesgolf.com. Celsius for the quick energy, Coke Zero Sugar, Redline, my school, Adrian College, Nitro Trucking, Peace, Love, and Paws Rescue out of Southeast Michigan, Sam and everybody who puts on Superstar ARCA. It's been a blast coming over here to getting to run this car and run in this league. And last but not least, you guys doing the broadcast. It's you guys do an awesome job. I got to watch last week back. It was really good, and I can't wait to go see tonight.
And once again, congrats on your third place finish. We'll see you next week at Michigan.
Sounds good.
So that was our third place finisher of Matt Sisler here tonight from Watkins Glen. It was definitely a fun one. We saw a few different dramatic calls, finishes for that battle for that fourth place spot in that battle for that edge of the top 10. Fortunately, one of my questions you did there in those final 10-15 laps, but hopefully I was able to get that replay. I kind of explained kind of what happened, and also kind of see kind of how that was. So apologies for those difficulties there late. But before we send off on the way here at Michigan, coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network tomorrow night, we'll have the Quantum Contender Series at Belle Isle tomorrow night at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Friday night we'll have the NR Cup Series at Kansas. Actually not Kansas. Sorry, apologies on that one. The NR Cup Series, they will start their round of 12 as they will go to Michigan on Friday night. And then we will be going back here to Michigan as well for the Superstar ARCA West Series next week on Wednesday. But that was definitely a fun one tonight here from Watkins Glen. So long here from the Glen. We'll see you next time.